Cops at fire scenes. Today, that's what we're talking about today. Cops, when we roll up on a fire scene, what cops are doing at these fires. It's in Manhattan, in New York City. I don't know about anywhere else in the country, but I'm wearing my NYPD hat today. So I'm going to explain. First and foremost, I want to preface this video with, I am a law enforcement supporter. I support law enforcement, all law enforcement across this country, across the world. I support you guys. You guys have a extremely thankless and tough job, and I'm supporting you guys. I have many, many friends who are cops. I have family members who are cops, were cops. I was in law enforcement for 7.5 years. If you watch any of my videos, you'll know that. So recently, but I just want to say that, I'm prefacing this video with I support law enforcement, and I ain't bashing anybody. This is just going to be some fun stories, whatever. I just came back from National Law Enforcement Week in Washington, D.C., where I was surrounded by cops from all over the country. There were cops from other countries there, supporting all the family members and survivors of the fallen that have been added to the National Law Enforcement Memorial down in Washington, D.C. this year. All line of duty deaths by law enforcement the families were down there, and we had a couple ceremonies, a candlelight vigil, and a couple other ceremonies. We had the memorial service to honor all those men and women who have died line of duty in the last year or two. All those names, I believe 345 names were added to the wall this year, including my brother-in-law, Lieutenant Raymond Buzzo, NYPD. He died of 9/11 related cancer. So I was down there with my sister. We spent the week in Washington, D.C. I was surrounded by cops. I hung out with a couple of cop friends of mine that work down there. They're still active. And it really, truly was an emotional week for us. It was very emotional. It was very draining. It was long days, but it was very satisfying. And it was great. The people that organized that were unbelievable to put something like that together. All the cops from all over in uniform, being escorts for family members, always being there for everybody, just doing everything. It was really, really great to see, and I was really proud to be there. I was really proud to support my sister, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So that's where I was. That's where I got. And while I was down there, I was thinking about I should do a quick video about how cops react on fire scenes in New York City. So now I'm going to get into, once again, I support law enforcement. So just let's have a little fun with this one. In New York City, I don't know if they have a class in rookie school, whatever you guys call it, the academy, about how to rig placement, how cops should react or be at a fire scene in New York City. I get it. Listen, I get it. You want to fulfill your dream. If you're a cop, you want to fulfill your dream to be a firefighter. I understand. I get it. You want to get there on scene. A lot of times you guys are there before us because you're out patrolling. You get the call and you guys are there before us. I can't tell you how many times I've rolled up on a scene and there's cop cars there before we are. You know, you guys want to do the right thing, get in the building, get people out, stuff like that. Even though I don't think that you're trained in how to do that. I don't think that you're trained in where to place your RMP or your cruiser, whatever. You know, I don't know if it's the same or how cops react in other parts of the country, but maybe similar. I don't know. But there definitely needs to be a class for you guys, for NYPD, for cops, on how to respond and where to place your vehicles at a fire scene, especially in New York City. New York City now has avenues and streets, and the streets aren't big enough for rigs and double parked cars, especially at a fire scene. Now, the proper rig placement at a fire, it doesn't always go this way, but it should be an engine, a truck, and an engine. And the truck's got to have the front of the building. The first engine arriving should pass the front of the building and go to the hydrant. Either if the hydrant's in front of the building, backstretch, but you got to be far enough past that building so the trucks can have the front of the building so they can put their ladders up, put the whatever. And then the second engine is behind the second truck. That's proper rig placement, okay? We need that block. We need that street to get these giant rigs onto the street. But I can't tell you how many times I've pulled up and there's been a cop car right in front of the fucking front door of the building. We're like, get out of the fucking way, yelling, honking the horn, get out of the way. Cops come running down. They're trying to move the car. I've even heard, possibly rigs had to move cop cars. You got to get that car out of the way. Pull it off the corner, off the avenue, on the avenue, whatever. We need to get those rigs in place. They need to have a class in school to teach you to stay out of the way. I understand you want to do the right thing. You want to get in there. It's your instinct. You're trained, you got it in your mind that you want to help people. I get it. Stay the fuck out of the way. Stay out of the way, please. We always used to say, oh, if you can't find a hydrant, look for the cop car. The cop's probably on the hydrant. All the time this happens. And again, I get it. They're not thinking the way we're thinking. They're not trained the way, you guys aren't trained the way we're trained. You see, usually the hydrants are supposed to be the open spots in Manhattan or in the city. Is that always the case? No. But, most of this, a lot of times it is. So I can see cops pulling up, and it happens all the time. The cops pull up, and they're not thinking. They just want to help. They want to fulfill their dream. They pull onto the hydrant. So now that hydrant is blocked. Now the engine chauffeur is going to have a way tougher time hooking up to that hydrant because there's a cop car on it. We always used to say, you pull up, you can't find a hydrant, look for the cop car. That's where the hydrant is. So please, this is funny. I'm trying to have fun with this because I support you guys. And there's a great rivalry between cops and firemen, of course. It really is a great thing. Do some guys legitimately hate each other? Yeah, I don't know why, but whatever. It's a fun rivalry. The teams play each other, but we work in the city, we work together, and we've always worked well. Up in Harlem, we've had a great relationship with NYPD. And it was great seeing those guys on scenes and stuff like that, and them being there or whatever. We've backed them up. They've backed us up on certain scenes. Been a lot of fun. But get your RMPs out of the way. Get your cruisers out of the way. I don't know if other, all three people that watch the show or listen to the show, if cops in your area do the same thing. I don't know, but it's funny. I had another quick story where we got to run for fire in a high rise. So it was upper floors. So we had to take the elevator, jump on the elevator, and there's a lot of guys with a lot of weight on that elevator. And right as the doors closed, two cops jump on the elevator, wanting to get up there too. We don't know what they were thinking. We all looked at each other like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And we had a boss with us who was an old school dude, really funny, big guy, fucking real deep voice. And as we're getting up in the upper floors, the elevator started filling with smoke. It wasn't a heavy smoke. It was just a little bit. And, we're like, all right, we're going to get off 2 floors below and walk up after that anyway. That's what we do. But the elevator started filling with smoke, and these 2 cops started fucking choking out. They start coughing. And this boss, we all started breaking their balls immediately. Oh, big cop. Now you want to be a fireman. This is what happens. You jump on the elevator. Now there's smoke, and now you're fucking coughing. We were breaking their balls. They got off the elevator just fucking coughing, choking. It wasn't even a ton of smoke. It was just a little bit of smoke, but it was enough to start making them coughing. But it was really funny that they jumped on the elevator, went up, and the elevator started filling with smoke. Obviously, if we needed it, we could put up, masks on. But these guys were getting choked up by the smoke, and it was really, really funny. So if you are a cop, with a thankless job that we have, and thank you guys that you do what you do, please stay out of the way at a fire scene. Keep your vehicles out of the way. The rigs have to get into the front of the building. The engine's got to get past the front to a hydrant. Stay off the hydrants. Stay off the block with your cars. Stay off the elevators in fires. If you run into a house, be careful, man. If you're a cop, I've seen heroics guys doing that stuff, and that's great stuff, but be fucking careful. Stay low. If firemen are there, let them fucking do their job. Right? Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. That's it for today. NYPD, all law enforcement, we support you. I support you. Thank you guys for doing what you do. And remember, it must be true if you heard it at the kitchen table.